The life and crimes of serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer have been explored in the enlightening biographical crime drama miniseries Monster, The Jeffrey Dahmer Story, which can be viewed on Netflix. From 1978 through 1991, Jeffrey terrorized Milwaukee, Wisconsin, bringing to light the alleged ineptitude of law enforcement and how an effective investigation could have prevented several deaths. Furthermore, the series depicts how most people didn't detect Jeffrey's violent tendencies until it was too late, and it even covers some of the serial killer's youth. He is the father of Jeffrey Dahmers, the impression of being a regular American family to anyone looking in from the outside. However, conflict was developing behind closed doors since Lionel feared that his wife had grown severely hooked on prescription drugs since she became pregnant with Jeffrey. Lionel is known as his father in public. He does know that his son is the killer of so many humans until it comes to him. How does he know his son is the murderer? Lionel wed Shari Dahmer in December that same year, and the couple made their home in Milwaukee, hoping to lead a tranquil life. In addition, throughout Jeffrey's life, Lionel served as his go-to emergency contact. Whenever there was a disturbance, the authorities would always call him. However, he mistakenly believed that his son was incapable of committing murder, and he had taken aback when the evidence that implicated Dahmer was brought to light. Where is Lionel Dahmer now? In 1992, the family of Steven Hicks brought a wrongful death lawsuit against Lionel Dahmer, his ex-wife Joyce, and his wife, Shari. The Hicks family claimed that the defendants were responsible for Steven's death. Lionel paid Jeffrey Dahmer numerous visits while incarcerated and even brought Shari with him on occasion. How he knew him as the serial killer from childhood. It occurred even though Dahmer was sentenced in 1992 to spend the rest of his life in jail. In 1994, he published his memoir titled A Father's Story, which detailed his experiences while raising Jeffrey and talked about how there were no signs that the young man would turn into such a terrifying serial killer. He also discussed that he had no idea that Jeffrey would become a serial killer. Received call after Jeffrey's death. Lionel was the first person the police phoned when Christopher Scarver killed Jeffrey on November 28, 1994, and he even traveled to the prison to identify the body. Jeffrey's death was the result of Christopher Scarver beating him to death. Joyce wanted to do this as soon as the body had returned to the family. Since then, Lionel has been a part of several documentaries and television specials, some of which include Biography, Dateline NBC, Dahmer on Dahmer, A Serial Killer Speaks, and Mind of a Monster, among others. However, his last public appearance was in the year 2020, and since then, Lionel has chosen to live a life of seclusion. Many believe that he and his wife, Shari Dahmer, still make their home in Ohio. How did Lionel Dahmer die? Recent episodes of the Netflix series Monster, The Jeffrey Dahmer Story have provided viewers with the opportunity to learn more about the private life of Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer. After the show's premiere, many wondered why he killed Jeffrey Dahmer. According to the legend, he had murdered by his close friend St. Christopher, who the church initially suggested was responsible for his passing away. In light of this, many people have started to wonder whether or not Lionel Dahmer is still alive. Sources claim that he is no longer alive, and those same reports claim that both of his killers were transported to the Columbia Penal Facility, which has located in the state of Wisconsin. According to sources from the time of the beginning of their period of solitary confinement, on November 28, 1994, Jeffrey Dahmer strolled out of his cell to finish his regular work of cleaning the restroom with another unhappy individual named St. Christopher Scarver. Around 8 in the morning, Dahmer was discovered lying on the ground with terrible wounds. According to the story, he killed Dahmer after being raped by a metal rod, ultimately leading to his passing. Public has been enjoying this thriller story, but it is an original and true one. How his parents served in all this, particularly his father. His father somehow knows from childhood that he will be a serial killer. But they did not know anything about that to make him a good human being.